G'day footy fans and welcome to Boothy's AFL Dream Team Fantasy Podcast. Today I've updated and I'm looking at defenders and then rucks at the same time. Let's start with defenders. Now basically in defence you should spend between $2.633 million and $2.786 million according to my scenarios. In other words, between 2.6 and 2.8 million, which I think I advertised last time also. Now I've given you 4 scenarios looking down those columns there. So one scenario would see Doherty 609 in D1, Jake Lloyd 521 in D2, Josh Smith from Collingwood in D3 at 461, and Zach Jones from Sydney in D4 at 333. Now the players in yellow are the ones that scored 100 or more in at least one JLT game. I've got Marchbank at 205 in D5 from Carlton and Hampton from Adelaide in D6 204. Now those guys scored 80s and did very well in JLT, averaging at least 65. Marchbank as the third year GWS recruit to Carlton, important backman, gets possessions and marks, and it looks like he's going to play every game if he's fit. And Hampton's gone into the midfield at Adelaide and finished off in JLT 3 with 25 or 26 disposals. So they are very good value players at 205 and 204 and will play for their teams. There are not too many cheaper guys than that you can rely on in Dream Team for the start of the year. And on the bench I've got Otten from Adelaide, who I believe will play, who got 70 in every single JLT game, all 3 of them, 70, 71, and he will play round 1 for his experience with Cheney not right and Lever possibly in doubt as well. And I've got Hibberd there from North Melbourne, but the problem with him is on the bench is he's playing on Sunday, so you've got to be very careful to find out whether he's actually playing in the 22 when they announce those teams on Friday late afternoon before lockout. So the second scenario sees Simpson in D1 from Carlton at 6'11", very similar to Doherty, but obviously older. Burgoyne from Hawthorn that has played the last 70 matches in a row is very durable at 5'20" as a D2. Zach Tui, who's been in great form, got over 100 in a game, obviously. It's gone to Geelong from Carlton at 4'42". Wellingham, who's been amazing, averaging 30 disposals for West Coast, best in his career, but it is only JLT, but still good value at 367. Will play for West Coast in round 1. And Jaden Hunt, who got 107 in the last game for Melbourne, looks like a great young player. He's only had the one season, but he's been around for 3 years. And he looks like he could spend time in the midfield here and there, as well as, of course, halfback flank. He did kick a goal in JLT, so he looks great. And, of course, Hampton there in 6. Vickers-Willers, question mark whether he gets picked in the Sunday game, and Otten. Team 3, Adams, 6'22" from Collingwood, who everyone loves and plays midfield. Johannesson from the Bulldogs, who was a great player in that grand final and late last year, averaging over 100, 563. Mills from Sydney, who's prolific as a second-year player, is unbelievable at 441, rising star. Kolodnaski from Gold Coast, of course, with a round 9 bye, so beware of that. So if you're going to have Kolodnaski, who got 30 disposals the other day and got nearly 100 in JLT3 and looks fantastic after some stomach issues last year and averaged 81 in his second season. He's in his 4th season now. He's a gun. But if you're going to have him, just be aware not to have any other Gold Coast or Port guys in your 22 because they've got a buy in round 9. So you only get 2 trades for that round. Be careful with that one. Marchbank and Hampton again. Joel Smith this time from Melbourne if he's in round 1. And you'll know that before the lockout on Friday, the second lockout. And Otten's there again because we know he's playing as reliable as a emergency. And then Team 4, Shaw, the old man, but looks fantastic in JLT. 2 of the games look brilliant. 6'14". It's not that old, really. He's 31 from GWS. Laird from Adelaide is only getting better and could average over 100 this year after 95 last year. Mackie from Geelong, who has a score over 100 and a score over 90 in JLT and missed the second one resting. He looks fantastic, taking over from Enright. And Salem from Melbourne, who's playing on the wing and is looking like having a great season as well. Marchbank, Hampton. And Chol, if he's in round 1 for Richmond, which he probably won't be, otherwise change that. But you'll know by Wednesday night, or Thursday at least. And Otten for Adelaide as emergency is a reliable one. Now, on the right-hand side, I'm reminding you that the Sunday games are North Melbourne, Adelaide and Geelong. And then West Coast, GWS and Fremantle. But the trouble is North Melbourne has Hibberd and Vickers-Willis, who may or may not play. Adelaide has Kelly, that's why I haven't named him, and Geelong has Stewart, and I haven't named him either because again those guys are more than 150 and they're too risky, so we don't know if they're going to play or not. Now Ruckmen down below there, I've got the totals there in yellow, so you can see they're between 2633 and 2786, and with the Ruckmen combined, if you go down those columns and pick those sort of 12 players together as it were in each column, basically you'll end up with between 4 million and 4.3 million per team. Approximately 4.1 million is what you're aiming for, which will leave you then with nearly 7 million for your midfield and your forwards, which will be about 4 million and 3 million respectively. So Grundy is with Martin in buys 13 and buys 11, so be careful with your rucks to make sure you don't have two ruckmen together that have the same buy round, because then you'll be stuffed when you get there. So Grundy and Martin together with 13 and 11. Martin with a big score in the last game. Grundy looking like being a fantastic ruckman again for Collingwood. Yeah, good young player, averaging 100 already, could get to 110. Cameron on the bench because he's a ruck forward and you can interchange him with a Boyd or an Nankervis in the forward line. And Bruce because he looks the best of the 150 ruckman, most likely to play, if not round one, still put him there early on. If Goldstein gets injured as well, of course, he'll come straight in. So put Bruce there. It doesn't really matter because you shouldn't need him, but I would. He's the most likely of the 150s. Grundy and Cruiser can go together. Cruiser has had his best pre-season for about 6 or 7 years, and he got 100 in JLT, and the other one he got 87. He looks great. He's well priced and can go with Grundy with buys 13 and 11. Cameron and Bruce again. The third scenario sees Grundy and Hickey. Now, Hickey was the number one ruckman last year at St Kilda, played almost every game, got 120 in one game and a few other really good scores. Then I was worried he wouldn't be the number one ruckman there because of Longer. So they shared the ruck duties in JLT1. Hickey didn't do that well in that game. Then Hickey missed the second game. They let Longer have a crack at it. And then they put Hickey in the third one to see what Hickey can do on his own without Longer being there for the first time. And Hickey got 39 hit-outs and 29 disposals and got a Dream Team score of over 130, 137, I think. So honestly, Hickey I'd earmarked from last year, and on the back of that third game and what I understood he would do, he's now at about 26 years of age and up to about 60 or 70 games of footy, and that's the prime age for a ruckman to really start performing well. So Hickey's worth the risk, I reckon, if you want to go down that path with Grundy. The other combinations are very expensive. Gawn and Goldstein buys 11 and 12, and Gawn and Grundy, which obviously is top dollar. So look, they're very expensive. So if I were you, I'd go with scenario 1, 2 or 3 with Grundy and either Martin, Cruiser and Hickey, who all got over 100 in one game and all look fine and all have really good pre-seasons. Okay, so if you add up those two scores, I said you'll end up with about 4.1 million. You can do that. So choose one of the column from above and one from below and see how you go. You can go straight down or go across, whatever. That's what I recommend. Tomorrow I'll finish off with forwards and then you'll be all up to date and then you can start picking your groups and end up with $11 million. Good luck. Please subscribe, please share, please like, please comment, and it's all good fun, and bye for now.